everyone, it's Mel from Everything Marmy. Well, you guys, I have zero plan. Nothing. I just turned on the camera. Have no plans. So you're gonna have to bear with me as I figure this whole video out. But if I was to sit here and think about what I was going to film today, it would probably have been all day. And I don't have all day, but I wanted to film. So I'm just putting a couple of stickers in some blank spots to start. And I hope you guys have something to drink. I just looked up. I have a little bit of water with me. So I hope that your Decembers are going well and every day. Let's see, where am I going to fill these in? Kind of mixed mashed. Just filling in some like loose sticker bits. And on these stickers too, what I tend to do is the ones up here, I cut those out too. Instead of like tossing them, or sometimes I'll take off the plastic here and then use this sticker sheet to make another one, because it's like the Scotch Cal film, which is really good. And this is from Hubman and Chub Girl. They use a really good sticker paper. But I've been just cutting these stickers out, and to me it really doesn't matter how perfect they are. As you all know, I'm not really a perfect person. Never been, never will be. And I just finished, well, not just, but I attempted to fix my nails because I lost my thumb one. Look at how rough those look, you guys. Now, I am not here as an advertisement for nails, you guys. So I just like added more of the color over the nails. Now, keep in mind, these nails are going on, I want to say 3 odd months-ish. So they're long, they're crude, they're ugly. And yesterday, in this state, I got a compliment on them. So I don't know what to say about that. I'm just looking to see, do I have any other sheets that are randomly about? No, I don't. Thank you for the comments on yesterday's video. I do plan on getting to them. Just move that aside. This book here, I pulled out. I don't even know what's in the pockets, you guys. So you're gonna just explore with me. Some of my like notes and stuff, putterings. It's gonna be a really odd video. I see that like I used this sticker here, which is the same one basically, except darker on here. And what I plan on doing, because I don't want to waste it, I don't think I wrote on the back of that page, is probably cut this out and reuse it. Because, you know, that's a pretty good sticker. And I've put other ones in here too. And then these were like, I think I showed this. This is kind of a book where I do, and I don't know how well you guys can see. This is a book where I put like ideas and stuff. And then I get to here, and then I start journaling, which, you know, I block off. And then I was looking at like this paper, and I wanted to do like some like doodling and Christmas decorations on it. So do I have my metal ruler? Where did I put that? Is it in my, here it is. So a doodling Christmas page. maybe is what I'll do today. And you might be asking yourself, well, what is a doodling page, Mel? And that's a very good question. Like I said, I'm winging this. So I am just going to square this paper up a little bit. And take this sheet here and start adding some color to it. And the first thing I want to find, which could be absolutely anywhere. Let's see. They must be down here. Oh, they are. I'm just going to add some Tombows randomly. I'm kind of really inspired by Courtney Diaz at the moment. And so I'm just going to take out, these are all water soluble. So what that means is, essentially, if I wanted to, I could add a bit of water and turn them into paint, but I don't want to do that. I'm just going to grab a couple of colors. Well, I say a couple and I like grab them all out, but I don't want these really dark ones. These are blender colors anyway. This purple is rather dark. I don't want that one. I do like the lighter ones and the greens. It's kind of a nice green. So I've got a good variety of greens going on. Some of these are duplicates. Yeah, that's a duplicate. That one I think is running low. That's my favorite 772. And my recommendation on the Tombows is that you tape over the numbers, because I've had to, because the numbers were coming off. And then I didn't know like what the colors were. So I have quite a lot of blues going on here. And then these ones all here, apart from the pink. Do I want orange? I've got two kinds of orange. So I might do more than one sheet, but essentially, knowing me, and I like that color too, as a neutral. It's funny because in my life, especially my wardrobe, I tend to say, like I have a very minimal wardrobe. You guys probably see the same sweaters all the time. I think I have 4 sweaters, maybe 5, and I rotate them all the time. And yeah, that's a nice color too. So I've got 4 of those ones going on there. So I'm randomly just going to choose the colors. But I do have a good collection of Tombows. These were accumulated over time. And I spoke, I think, at one point that if I was to do it again, I probably wouldn't go for Tombows as much as I like them, because these Crayola Super Tips, and I'll just use this sheet here to show you a quick little swatch. If I can get them off, these are beautiful colors too. I have some other things that are hanging out over here that I was working in my book. But yeah, like, you know, those are beautiful colors. Now, granted, they're not double-sided. These have like the small writing side and then the big ones, right? But they fit much easier in pencil pouches and whatnot. And the colors are lovely. Like, let's do an like really different color. I have no idea the purpose or point or what I'm going to call this video. I've already done a video called Adding Color. But like I said, I'm very inspired, and I have always been very inspired by Courtney Diaz and James Burke and Jane Davenport and, oh gosh, like I could go on. There's so many artists that just do their thing. And I love it. I'm all in for it. Because art is such an exciting expression of self. And it just doesn't honor us. It honors our existence and where our existence originates from. So I don't know, like you could just take one piece of paper like this. Let's see. It's not going through. These are, like I said, the Crayola Super Tips. And I'm going to show you on the bottom here the difference between the Super Tips and the Tombos. And these guys, the Super Tips, are, I got 40 for $4.50 at the Dollarama not too long ago. They're water soluble. They're bright, juicy. Let's see what other colors I can use. I love this little box. I'm not quite sure where I scored it, though. It's likely I scored it at a thrift store. And I'm going to just add maybe one more color. Kind of a, maybe one more after that one even. Just to give it like a little... Okay, so that one turned into 3, but... Okay. So we'll put those ones away. Now let's try something with these guys here, with the Tombos. And I'm not going to do a whole lot with the Tombos because I have another plan with them. But I think the only difference with the Tombos and the Super Tips is you've got more of a reach with the point. So if you look at the point here, it's not a very long, it's more stubby point. And this one is much longer. So of course you're not going to get that overlapping line. However, I honestly don't find that to be a problem for me. You might, but I certainly don't. Let's try down here. Wow, that is a bright, much brighter than I thought based on the lid. Let's see if that color is coming through. No, none of the colors are coming through, so I'm quite impressed there. And like I said, you know, all of my videos, everything that I do, is there a point? No. They're just ideas You could be bored one day and think, oh gosh, what do I do? I'm here showing up is what I'm doing. I'm showing up. I like to show up. I enjoy showing up. And I think in my heart of hearts, see, that color is really similar to that one. You never know what the outcome is going to be. And so since, like, I can plan something and it never seems to turn out the way I want it to anyway, it's just easier for me to say, okay, you know what? I'm just going to wing the whole thing. I had no idea at all what I was going to do. Now, of course, it's come out on that, but it'll come off. Just going to come up here, color these squares in. I love graph paper, and this is like the big graph. So let's get some orange down this side here. So I'm mixing them now, obviously, because we had the super tips at the top and the Tombows at the bottom. But you see, like, now that I'm doing this, you can barely tell that there is a difference at all. And so if I were starting out again and doing, like, quote-unquote favorite things, I certainly wouldn't pay what I paid for Tombows. And in fact, I probably won't be able, I say probably because, you know, I don't like to say things impermanent and then go ahead and do it because, you know, I try not to say things like that and then go against my word. So, okay, there we go. Lots of color on a page, right? So then what would you do with something like that? Lots. You could laminate that. You can find a pen. Which one is this one? This is the Pilot G2. Let's see what that does. Now, it's seasonal. So let's put this guy underneath. See what we can do. We can draw some trees. So this would be really great to make your own stickers. That's what I'm thinking. Speaking of trees, I'm curious, what is on the top of your tree if you have a quote-unquote Christmas tree? Like, do you put an angel, a star, a wreath, a bow? What do you put? I think I used to put an angel. And I say used to because I don't have a tree up this year. My daughter does, but I don't. So then, like, I can come down here and start decorating. See, this pen doesn't want to work, so let's find one that does. That's a permanent Sharpie. That would go right through. Let's see. And if I was to think about this video, you guys, I would probably say, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna post this because it's a silly video. But sometimes silly videos inspire other. Is that a pencil? Yeah, it is. It's a little pencil. Sometimes silly videos do inspire other people to say, oh, well, I never thought about doing that. Let's try that. Let's try that pen. And what's this one? Okay, let's try those ones. see what it does. Okay, that doesn't want to work at all. That's no good. That one's too strong. Just kind of, now that I've got this pen in flow, I'm just like making some sort of a border on this paper. Completely off topic, but completely mindless. Let's see, can you see? Mostly all scribbles. Just scribbling. And this goes to show you too, since I can't draw, that scribbles are perfectly okay. And you can scribble your own like little stickers for icons and photocopy it onto sticker paper. And I show you how to do that at one point. Okay, so now we've got this one right in the center of that. Let's see if we can get this baby to work. I think because the ink was kind of all wet before. And I really don't, like I said before, I really don't have any specific pattern going on here. Except this nature scene where I'm putting like some trees in the back. It's colorful, can be laminated. I want to put an angel, but can I? And by can I, meaning, you know, can I draw it? Those are hands, not something else, you guys. This is what I mean. I'm not trying to misrepresent what I'm trying to draw. So I'm just drawing like a lot of, and I'll put a star here. Circle in it, put some lights there. So you can barely see what's in the middle because of all of these other colors, but then you can come along with a true like green, and we've already established this green is really bright. And keep in mind, you guys, this is scrap of paper. This is a piece of paper you could throw in your garbage and retrieve. It doesn't need to be like a special piece of paper, nothing. I'm just scribbling, right? Like, literally, if you're watching this, there is no magic formula, and I'm specifically using the Secret Tips. Anybody could afford to do this craft, your children, anything. I'm just adding in some background greens on top of like the multicolored that I had already laid down, just testing the colors. Penning myself. So if I had a goal, my goal for every single one of my videos is to inspire art as a way of spiritual connection, and to take us out of our phones for a second, to take us into the mindfulness of the moment and connect with the spirit of the second, if that makes sense. And for many of you, I just lost you and you just exited, and that's okay. But for me, if you're like me and things in the world are stressful, this is a really good, like, free activity that anybody can do, and costs nothing. So I'm going to put some yellow up there at the top here. Just really blend it in. So of course the back has no color, so I want to change that too. So because this now is kind of wet, I'm going to press it down a bit and see what it does. Okay, well, not too much. Let's add some color on the back. I forget who it was that left me a comment once, and she said, Mel, I don't really care what you do. Your voice just calms me. Whoever had left that message, thank you so much. It's so ironic to me that people find me calming. Pardon me. When I was a child in school, elementary school, it was definitely not the case. I can't tell you how many times between my 10th and my 11th year of life I spent time in the hallway for being loud, which, you know, unfortunately did do a bit of damage, but I've learned to go back in time and actually be grateful for it, because without that, I don't think I would have been who I am today. And I find that these situations of angst or not angst, or like difficulty perhaps, I find they really form something within you. They can either change you positively or change you negatively. And for me, I am so grateful they changed me positively. Like, seriously, positively. I have so much to be grateful for in my life, you guys. At the end of this video as well, if you hang tight, I'm going to show you a couple of pictures I've enlarged about where I'm moving to, just some of the yard. I'm a huge nature lover, you guys, huge. And I will do vlogs when I move, and I'm so looking forward to doing that because I plan on doing camping vlogs in my yard. Isn't that crazy? Like, camping in my yard in the winter. I cannot wait, you guys. The only difference is that I don't have to take a shovel anywhere. I can go into the house and use something called a luxury bathroom. But I won't have to worry about, you know, sounding bear bells or having like pop guns or, you know, like those little, they're little, do you remember those little orange pop guns, I guess they're called? You can't find them anywhere. I only found mine because I think I thrifted it some time ago when we found it in my garage. But because I don't want to use bear spray, and if you spray that stuff even remarkably wrong, if you do that, you will wear it. And it's pepper spray, essentially. You will itch. And part of my training at one point was to be sprayed with like pepper spray directly, so that we knew how to deal with that. That was part of our training. And bear spray is a bit stronger than that even, because it's such a bigger animal. Okay, let's look at that. Okay, so it's nothing to write home about, right? Not at all. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with it. Okay, it's not much. Let's see if I've got close. Do I have any lamination sheets close? There's some. These are self-sealing bags. Those are pockets. Okay, well these are the only ones I have, it seems, is the smaller ones, but that's fine. I can cut it down. Make two out of it. Like I said, you guys, it doesn't matter if it's ugly or not ugly. It doesn't matter. So I'm just going to try. Let's see how much size we've got here. Okay. We'll make them two different sizes. And my corner rounder. I'm pretty impressed, actually, considering that this is all impulse. And it may seem like all my videos are impulse. There's a rare time, like yesterday's video, where I went on and said, okay, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. But when it is truly impulse, as it is now, let's get these set up properly. I forget sometimes to remove that piece. And this is the piece here. Do you see? This is the piece here that I want to work on. So I haven't even really done that. So I guess I want to, yeah, I want to lay them. I want to lay them kind of down. You might be thinking, oh God, Mel, you're wasting a lamination sheet on essentially junk. And that possibly it could be true. Absolutely. But you know what? It's okay, because art is never junk, you guys. Never, never. It's just different. And comparison is the thief of joy. We've all heard that, right? So when you take your own stuff and you make your own images, it's not junk. And especially when you laminate it. Like, if you've ever done this with your children's art, by the way, and see, I've just mucked up that, right? Like, it's puffy there. You see that? Okay, but if you did this to your kids' art, you see, you could tell I did it there, okay? So I could leave it like that, or I can come along, leave it, you got to give it like a few inches around, or yeah, millimeters or whatever. Make sure you cut this in a curve so you don't like cut yourself. And the decorations in the pockets of your planners, or even like adhere it to the pages of your planners. So it can be in your journal covers, it can be in your planners. Your children can make them and like carry them in their pretend wallets. They could be like a background for something. It's a good craft to do when they're on holidays. They need nothing but crayons or markers, or we call them pencil crayons, but they're colored pencils everywhere else. Whatever their level is. And I feel like this one's going to probably pop up, but that's okay. So let's take a look. Let's just get these moved off to the side here. So let's see. I have my A6 right here, right? So I could add some color right there in these pockets. Look at that. If I didn't like that, I could turn it around like that. Same with this one. I could layer it. And if I didn't even like that, I could go rooting for stickers, which, of course, it would be at the bottom of all of my other things. But that's okay. We have time. I'm hoping we have time. I feel like getting into that 40-minute mark, and I was kind of right. So let's find some stickers or magazine images or something. Let's see. So now these ones are puffy. However, would I be using them anyway? Probably not. So somebody had sent these to me from the States, because we don't have these here. So This one could have a tree on it, since my tree doesn't look all that great. And it's just got a sticky in the back. I could put presents here. And maybe a little Let's see what else we could put up there. I like this. Of course, it's going to be hard to see without some white. Now, what's interesting is you all saw me in the beginning of this video cut out some stickers. So this is where this can come in, really handy. So I'll just cut out a piece here, which is white. And again, it's not perfect. You don't need it to be. I'm just going to peel this baby off. Okay, that has to come back down. These nails, I'm telling you, you guys, they're... Okay, there we go. So then I can just like lay it up here. Perhaps there. Crooked or not crooked, doesn't really matter. And we can put this word on it. And so now, this is kind of missing something under there. Do you see that? So I'm going to come along with this kind of glue stick. And be careful here because these are really super sticky. And there we go. Look what we just made out of nothing, you guys. A piece of paper, a lamination card, and some stickers. Let's see what we can do with the other one. So that was the bigger one. Where's the smaller one? So this one here is pretty puffy. It's not going to fit the girl. Might fit the Merry Christmas, but where? I think we're going to just do something simple again. Now, again, we've got white space on here, so let's not waste it. The picture didn't turn out as much as I'd like it, so let's cut this around here. So essentially, I'm showing you how to use garbage to make decorations, I guess. Not that you guys need to know that. I am, in my heart of hearts, an instructor. As a parent first, of course. And then I've done a number of jobs that led me to this. But more so, I really enjoy creating something. And when I can share it and somebody enjoys it or elaborates on it, like this could be your base project. And then you could say, okay, you know, I don't need this and I don't need this, but I can take this and this and this and this and this and apply it. And so, you know, you're making it better. So let's see if I can get this on. And keep in mind, like, this one's kind of odd anyway. So it's going to be, like, really interesting. So, obviously, didn't cut it properly. And I don't have a point. There is no purpose. Sometimes things just are for the sake of being. That's sweet, right? Like, the picture itself didn't look great. And now it looks like it has something else to it. And that kind of gives me an idea of using up something else. Now, I'm just peeling this sticker stuck to these nails, ripping off half the nail polish because I'm no pro. But I have a few little ones left here, and I was just looking at this one as well. And I was thinking, you know, always thinking. Let's see if I can improve on it. So that could go maybe there. I'll just tuck it underneath because all these colors are going to come through. And just give you a stencil of the sticker that was underneath, the cleaning stickers. So even if you didn't like the design, you see, you could alter it and not really change much of anything. And then you could come along and take, I don't know, another piece. Is that one emptied? That one's emptied. This one, here's another piece. So we can probably, we'll probably put him down here. And this is all in real time. So like I said, you know, having kids, and I know it's keeping attention span, if you have children, like I remember keeping their attention span for an hour was difficult, to say the least. But if this is for you, it's calming. And that alone is worth everything. Now, do I put a cup of coffee down there or gingerbread? I think the coffee would ping off of it, or hot chocolate. Okay, so let's go back to this one here. So I like the Merry Christmas. Okay. And then having these stockings or little mitts, those are kind of cute. Let's see though, would they clash? I don't think so. And then the gingerbread man can go up here. What's left? We've got a poinsettia. So what's on the back? Let's check the backs out. So we've got this girl. Do we need her legs? No, but we don't want it too puffy. And we got a candy cane and a poinsettia. So I don't want to do the backs, I don't think. So I'm just going to take this little poinsettia. We're going to put that down there. The candy cane. I think the candy cane needs to come on this bigger one, right over at the end. And there we are, you guys. Like, is it like great art? No. But, like, I don't know. I really like them. And then this girl here, I'm going to take her off and put her right here because she'll pop right off again. So then I can decorate. Let's take these girls out of here for now. I always try to have girls that represent my own girls. So let's take, this one will fit this one in here. And then this one, in order for it to fit, we'd have to, let's see what's going on in the back. We can put this one back here. Now, is it going to leave like a hump? Of course it will. Yeah, of course it's going to, you know, leave a hump. But then we've got a writing board, you know. So, and I haven't really done anything in my dailies at all. So, I don't even know what day we were at. But I did promise to show you some pictures. So, we're just going to leave these girls tucked in here somewhere. Or maybe I'll just put them in my jar up there. We never got to this, but I'm just going to come along and color it up and see what I can make with this paper and perhaps show you next time. So again, there's the little decoration. I'll bring it up for you guys to see that we made. And the back one. Just with a little bit of time. And then now we have 8 minutes and I'm going to show you a couple of pictures. And they're large printed out. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not going to have like all of my art supplies hit the floor, you guys. So I'm cleaning up after myself, which is even surprisingly. I have these in this beautiful case. I like clear cases, like, more than like. So everything's a happy accident. Like, I don't know. I find that things work out really well. So these are in no particular order. I just want to remove one of the pictures. Maybe a couple, because I just want to show you the yard and not the house. Okay, so just please bear with me a couple of minutes here as I remove just a couple of pictures. They're not in order, unfortunately. And I did put them in like a binder. And one day I'll tell you the miracle story of this house. And it truly is a miracle story of this house. But today, I'm just thankful that you're patiently waiting while I organize these photos. Okay, so I put some photos in this binder here. And I'm going to lift this up so you can see it. Okay, So that's part of my yard. My leg just cramped up, you guys. Oh my gosh. So I live in places like this all the time, and my leg has a Charlie horse, and I'm so sorry. Oh, of course, the land is not mine. I mean, can land ever be somebody's? It's everybody's. But this is in the back area. And that. And that. And for many of you, you might be saying, well, Mel, who cares? You'll see. You see the trees? I'm looking up and taking the picture. This massive tree. Okay, so you do see some of the house. So I'm down here. Here is a trampoline. Here is a tree. I'm at the base of another tree. This is where the wood piling is. This is one of the hidden paths. I could just see my grandchildren in there. The trampoline, the house. This is going to be replaced. It's an old propane cookery, but do you see how it's covered in stones for protection? This, of course, has to be cleaned off. Back here is a tent area for kids to play in. Do you see these trees? I wonder if I got one. You see my boot. You see, this is to this side, like lovely bushes, and yes, there is a big building here. This is the neighbors, okay? But that building there is such a blessing because it takes the noise and it hides it. This is not mold, you guys. It's moss, okay? My son-in-law, when he saw that, he's like, is that mold? No, it's moss. Rain barrels. I have always dreamed of having rain barrels. To me, having a rain barrel is just, and there's 5 or 6 of them. Okay, so down here, where the trampoline is, there is a shed. So I'm thinking of my grandchildren here. I'm thinking of areas that they can play in amongst the trees. This is a little kitchen area. Here is the deck. I see my granddaughter here, or granddaughters, playing kitchen outside. This kitchen actually has a plug-in and does a bunch of stuff. Here is a swing, and this is the other neighbors, but back here is a little fort, like cabin fort. Do you see how it's built in? And then looking down upon, there's a hammock and gardens and trees and openness and fields. That's the play kitchen, the hammock, the tree swing. Again, another picture of it. So there are neighbors, but there is this log feeling reminds me of being on the farm. And then again, the trees, you guys, I can't help myself. Sorry about the glare. All these paths are blackberry bushes, and they have to be trampled down or cut back. And then I took one of the hammock. This will be out, and another hammock in. This one's quite old, but these are all sturdy, solid trees. Anyway, that was my sharing of craft and my yard. in my new place. I want to thank you all so much. Where is those crafts again? Again, just little cards we've made. If you're looking for a craft to do with your children or even for yourself, you saw me make it. It took literally, 40 minutes to color, to laminate, to press stickers on. Nothing. And they're cute. They're really cute. You can mount them on like picture frames and decorate your homes. So folks, remember, we are all perfectly imperfect. We are all loved, needed, and wanted far, far more than you will ever know. Thank you for hanging out with me. It is Tuesday, the 16th of December. I hope you all have a blessed and beautiful day. I will talk to you later. Bye for now.